guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. My name is Isa, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. I really wanted to come on here and talk about the ways in which I heal with nature. I actually wanted to post this video in September. My camera was in repairs for legit the whole month, so I'm gonna do it now. I was a little bit reluctant to do this because where I live, it's already starting to get cold, even though that doesn't mean you can't go out and sit in nature, but I'm like 100% more of a warm weather person, so when it starts to get cold outside, I'm a hermit. So yeah, I was a little bit reluctant on whether I should post this now, but then I was like, just because it's cold here doesn't mean it's necessarily cold where you guys are. So I'm still going to post it. So the first thing that I wrote is to sit with the wind and ask him to carry away any negativity or stressful thoughts, even just stress in general that you may be feeling, and asking the wind to, like I said, carry that away. I noticed when I was sitting out there, because this was, I would say, like a week or two after I had posted the video when I was talking about my ex. So I was sitting out there and I was thinking about all of the shit that happened with him, and I noticed for myself, like when I started getting a little bit more chaotic in the ways in which I was thinking, the wind started picking up, and I was like, I feel like Spirit's helping me out a little bit here. Spirit's like, don't worry, let your thoughts go with the wind and just focus on breathing and on finding your center. So I really love working with the wind in that way. I think it's an amazing tool to carry away stress, negativity, even thoughts that you may have that you're wanting to send to somebody. Asking the wind to carry it is one of the most amazing forms of magic. I love working with the wind. The second one that I have here is to always bring offerings, and I stand by this. I think this is so important. It really establishes that reciprocal relationship between the land and yourself, right? And I wrote here, I try and give back in one way or another when I spend time with her. So Mother Nature. I like to sing to her. I'll bring herbs, I'll bring crystals other times. Sometimes I'll bring incense to burn to leave as an offering for her. I also like to bring little pieces of wood that I carve sigils into. I did this last summer and I brought it to the park that I usually frequent. It was really cool because the wood that I brought had a hole right in the middle. So I ended up putting it on a branch so it like blended into the tree, and the part with the sigils I put towards the tree so that nobody could see it. And I was like, okay, I fucking love this. So I like to bring sigils in that way. And the other thing that I wrote down here was to leave offerings of your hair, which might sound a little bit creepy, but that is like the most, or the closest part of you that you could be giving to them. And I wrote that I wrap it around the stems of the plant when I'm connecting with them. And I think it's really important to pay attention to your thoughts after doing so, and just listen to the impressions that you may be getting, even while you're sitting with the plant spirit, because they do talk to us. They are so wise and they have so much to share. So really just being still, and once you're giving that offering, that reciprocal connection, really pay attention to the impressions that you're getting from them. Plants are the greatest healers. They have a message for you. Just really be open to any impressions that might come from the plant spirit. If you don't feel anything, don't try and force it. It might come later, you never know, but definitely remain open and curious. So another big one that I have here is to connect with the water. I specifically wrote, ask her to show you what your soul needs to know in the moment. So I love doing this as divination and just really, again, picking up on, or paying attention to, I should say, the impressions that you are getting. I also wrote, ask her to help you fully feel through it, and that I like to put my hands and feet in the water. I just love getting in there, and I love water. I find that it has similar properties to the wind, but of course they're a lot different. But in the sense that it carries away stress and any negativity that you may be feeling in the moment. I feel like this one's kind of a given, but I still wanted to throw it in there. I also wrote that I get a lot of mental images that project in my mind when I'm by the water. Like I'll get way more impressions than I usually get, even when I'm at home and I'm like washing the dishes or taking a bath or taking a shower. Anything that's by water, I get into that meditative state and downloads start coming in. So definitely remain open to receiving messages from water spirits, whether it be even by your tap, right? Like I think that you can find magic in so many different ways. There really is a way to bring that into your everyday life, and I think it's wonderful. So another important one, I'd say this is like one of the biggest ones, even though it's number 4, I wrote, pay attention to the animals and insects that you may see and take note of their encounter. So, as I'm writing this, there's a spider that landed on my finger from thin air ... So cute. Oh my god, this is so cute. It's like bringing me back to these memories. I loved those spiders. And earlier I saw one sitting on the rock in front of me. Okay, so yeah, definitely pay attention to the symbolism of the animals that make an appearance while you're out there, because for the spider, I wrote, the spider really reminded me that I am the weaver of my own life, the weaver of my own energy, and no matter how hard it gets, how stressful it may seem, I can always raise my vibration. And I wrote that I am the master of my mind is not the master of me. I would just start journaling the impressions that you're feeling, the downloads that you're getting, and just seeing how it kind of ties in with the things that you're going through, right? I think that nature really talks to us in every single way when we're out there, and it's just a matter of being receptive and opening yourself up to ways of receiving that knowledge that maybe you did not think existed before. So definitely bring a journal with you, and if you feel called to journal while you see a certain animal, a certain bug, a certain plant, I really recommend it. And yeah, just seeing what impressions you get. I feel like I've said the same thing for every point that I've talked about, but nature is talking to us in like every way. If you start paying attention, it's actually crazy. It is insane. Even my plant babies, like at home, I'm a crazy plant lady. I have so many plants, and every time I'm around them, like around certain ones, I'll feel different emotions, I'll get different insights. It's fascinating. It's so fascinating. They have so much wisdom, as well as the animals and the insects, right? So moving on to the last one. The last one that I have is like a big duh. I'm pretty sure like everybody fucking knows about grounding, but I am never gonna stop preaching this because I think it is so important, and it's something that's so simple and that connects us back to the ways of our ancestors, right? Like, fuck shoes. Honestly, shoes are the worst things ever. We just wear them because we have to. Soil is amazing. It also has, oh my god, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a compound that activates, I believe, serotonin, I think. So definitely ground any chance you get. I also wrote, let yourself receive insights from the trees. They are the guardians of the land after all, and please hug one. I promise you won't regret it. I swear I've said that like 3 times on my channel, but I will never stop recommending hugging trees. I swear, like, you just feel so much better. You feel like you just got a hug from like a Papa Bear. Like, that's what I feel like after every single time I hug a tree. I love them. And never mind the mycelium network underneath. Like, that is a whole fucking different video in and of itself. That's why I think forming that connection, like, you think you're forming a connection with one plant or one tree, when in reality they're all in communication underground. So it's like the whole forest knows you, especially if you stay committed to going and to doing your part. Another thing that isn't on here but that I really recommend is to bring a garbage bag, and anytime you see litter or anything thrown on the ground that doesn't belong there, just pick it up and throw it out. Doing as much as you can and putting in that effort and that energy is so important. After all, this earth is all of our homes, and I think that a lot of us know this, and we do our part and we show up for the earth, right, and try our hardest to spread awareness, to, like I said, do our part. But there's also like the other half of people who just don't care, and it's fucking heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But I think that the more that we focus on what we can do, that energy then starts to transfer onto the collective. So I'm still hopeful that it'll turn around, but it is a little disheartening when you look at how we've treated, not we directly, but like how as a whole we have treated her and where we're at right now. And there's so much to cover on that. That's a video on its own, right? But yeah, as long as we're doing our part and spirit sees that and knows that, then I mean, that's all we can do, right? And it feels so good. It feels so good. So those are the ways in which I work with nature to heal as well as to strengthen my abilities. I really hope that I was able to bring you guys insight that you were able to learn something new. And if you guys already knew all of these methods and you still stuck around till the end, then thank you so much. Thank you anyways. And like I said, definitely let me know in the comments below if you guys do any of these methods, if there are any other methods that you do that I didn't mention in today's video. I would love to hear it. Okay, so there was a part that I completely forgot that was not a cute angle to add to this video, and I forgot to do it while I was recording, but I really do still want to mix it in because I feel like it was a big message that came from, like, for me it was a pretty big encounter. Like, it was the most exciting thing in my life. Okay, I am obsessed with jumping spiders. So last summer I tried to manifest one, and I ended up manifesting it twice, where I ended up meeting one in the forest, in the park. And well, technically it's a forest, never mind. And so I ended up seeing him on my knee, and I was not prepared for it, so I freaked the fuck out, and I ended up scaring him, and he wouldn't come back on my hand after, and it was the most devastating and heartbreaking thing of my life. And I ended up not getting another experience. Like, winter rolled around and I didn't go. Well, I still went to the park, like, sometimes, 'cause it's fucking freezing here, but obviously there's no jumping spiders. And this summer I tried so hard to manifest one. I swear, it was like the only thing I was fucking thinking about all summer. I was like, Spirit, I'm ready for this. And nothing happened, and I was like, fuck. Like, I was getting ready to give up and, like, try again next year. And it was one of, like, the warmer days, right before it started getting cold, and I went by the water, like, at the park that I usually frequent, and I was just sitting by the water, not even thinking about jumping spiders. I got cut off, but I wasn't even, oh, did you guys, oh no, they're gone, it was geese. I wasn't even thinking about jumping spiders, and I felt like a tickle on my arm, so I looked down, and there was a jumping spider. Guys, I almost cried. It was the best moment of my entire life, and she ended up hanging out with me for like 10 minutes. She was so cute. I have a couple of photos and, like, videos of her, and yeah, I think the biggest lesson from that, like, it sounds really mundane, but the biggest lesson that I got from that was that sometimes when you want your manifestations, you don't get them because you're not necessarily ready, right? Like, Spirit always knows best. I always say that. And divine timing really is the thing, and it's so real, and the more that you trust it, the easier it'll be to surrender to life and just flow and appreciate every single day without having to worry about what the future entails, right? Like, it's good to have a vision on it, but yeah, I feel like when we're stressed out that shit's not happening yet, when we think it should, that it's not going to happen, but sometimes we're just not ready for it. So yeah, that was my message that I got from the little jumping spider. And if you guys have the chance to meet one, tell them I say hi. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.